Hey guys, so today we are in the 2022 Audi Q7 that I showed you in the previous video. So if you haven't watched that, go check that out. I'll have the link to the description to that video in the description below. But in this video, what we're gonna do is just going over the Audi MMI system in the infotainment screen that comes with pretty much every Audi nowadays. And as we know, this is the 2022 version, so it's gonna have the latest software. And I'm going to be showing you all of the features in detail. Let's get started. Okay, so here are the two screens that I explained in the previous video, but today we're focusing mostly on the top screen. So if you want to know what this bottom screen does, you can check out my previous video and I have explained that in detail over there. So on the top screen, at the very first menu out of the three, as you can see here, you have three tiles: Bluetooth, telephone, and search. And basically the search is mostly just for navigation. This car comes with its own Wi-Fi, so you do not have to depend on your phone for your cellular data service to get navigation. I believe there's a certain charge after a few days or a few months that you get the car to continue your Wi-Fi service, but when you first get it, it's going to be completely free. So the screen here is completely lag-free. I would say it's mostly like a smartphone nowadays. It's completely easy to zoom in, zoom out. It has pinch to zoom, everything. It's very responsive and easy to use. Here you can just set the direction and go back to where your arrow was. So since my arrow is over there now, as you can see, if I click this, it just spawns back to the arrow. Here you can just see your altitude, and I'm not exactly sure what that does, but it does look like something useful, and does have the feet metric system there. In settings, you can control the map settings. You can have voice guidance, route criteria. Route criteria is pretty much what most people are going to want to know, but it lets you block or allow carpool lanes, highways, and toll roads, as well as ferries and other boat routes. So going back to home, you have phone apps, which is mostly your Android Auto or Apple CarPlay if you set that up. You have vehicle, which has all your vehicle functions, such as your drive modes, which are also able to be controlled from down here in drive select. So what off-road mode is that it turns off traction control, so that is better off-road. You have comfort mode, which is pretty self-explanatory. It loosens up the suspension so it can go over bumps easier. Auto mode, it uses that camera up in the front that I explained in my previous video, and it uses other cameras around the car to basically scan the road and let the suspension and driving steering wheel adapt based on that. You also have dynamic mode, which is sport mode, and then you have individual, which is basically where you can set up your own mode. As you can see, if you go into off-road mode, it just gives you this pop-up: stabilization control turn off, and it says Audi Presense currently limited. Presense is basically just the feature where it lets you scan the road. You have your light and visibility, and this is the premium model, but if you were to go up a level in premium plus or prestige, you would also get your colored ambient lighting for the interior. This car comes with plain white though. And then you also have the exterior headlights for automated systems over here. You have your efficiency assist. You have your seat controls, air conditioning controls, driver assistant, where you can select the amount of assistant you want from the car, and you have parking aid, so you can have the volume for like how far ahead you want the scanner to be. And then you just have your favorites badge over there. So everything else is pretty self-explanatory, but in settings, as you can see, you can change many of the settings, like connected devices. You can have general settings, which basically you can use date and time, measurements, and other vehicle information settings over there. You have the display brightness, where you can have the cockpit dimming, which basically if you were to hold on to this and scroll, it changes the lighting for the entire screen. In MMI, you can have the brightness, touchscreen feedback. Let's see what high would feel like. Okay, so high is actually quite decent. It gives you a very strong feedback. And for screen clearing, you can see that it just turns off both of the displays. and all you have to do is click this button over here to hold it before it turns them both on. So that's pretty much it for the infotainment screen. As you can see, it's quite easy to use. So in the middle we have the gauge cluster, and now let me explain this cluster over here. So you have these two arrows over here which control the screen. As you can see your range, your driver assistance, your efficiency, your full screen map, which is one of the most regarded features in the whole car industry for Audi. And if you were to click the view button over here, you can see that it changes your gauges. So that is actually a very nice feature. And I know you noticed that check engine light up there, but basically as soon as you put your foot on the brake and start the car, that goes away. Right now the car is in battery mode, which means that the car is on. If you see, I'm doing air quotes, on. So you cannot drive it right now, but it has all the features in air conditioning and everything on right now. So you could pretty much use this car like normal without driving it. So that's pretty funny. Next you have this programmable button here, which on this screen what it does is that you can actually set an assignment for the button to do. So you can you choose any of these here and make that button do that function. So one of the best functions I found was the steering wheel, heated steering wheel, and for that you would have to go from here to here to get this heated steering wheel normally. But if you were to set that as a function, you could just click this from the driver, as a driver could just hit this and have their heated steering wheel on or off. So that's pretty much it, guys, for this video. I hope you enjoyed. This was a very detailed review on the front screens. If you want to know a few more features that I go through thoroughly for the bottom screen and just these buttons overall, you can head to my main video that I published on right before this one. So I'll have the link to that video in the description below. If you enjoyed, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. Thank you.